Welcome. I'm Chris Morris. This is Opening Spaces, and this is a place that we work with physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energy or subtle energy. Today we're going to talk about stress. And stress is natural. It's something that happens throughout life. We would actually be bored without it, and in our Western society, it is too much, too fast, all around us, all the time. And so if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling stress, if you feel overwhelmed, these are just a couple quick little tools to start with and help your system settle down. We have this natural, it's biological, that our system activates, it mobilizes, it amps up, and we have to practice the bringing it down. So we have to practice our relaxation response. We have to practice bringing in that settling response if our system is not used to it, or our system has gotten so far off of its baseline that it's kind of stuck with the gas pedal on and we can't slow things back down and we can't settle. So this is a practice. So I want you to just take a moment where you are, feel your seat or your feet if you're standing. If you're driving, then just pay attention lightly to this. Don't go deep into this. This takes where you need to be in a place where you don't have to make sure other people are safe. So feel your seat or your feet, depending on if you're sitting or standing. If you're laying down, feel your back. You could be laying down for this, for sure. Feel the back body, your back body, what it's touching, and what that sensation is of where it's touching. I'm on a very squishy pillow right now, a very squishy cushion. It would feel very different if I was on my hard ceramic tile floor. So what's your experience like? And then as you feel that, notice if you get a spontaneous deep inhale, or you swallow, or you feel like the juices in your mouth, your saliva has increased, or maybe you burp a little, or maybe you yawn. So we have to take a little bit of time. So bringing in that relaxation, or we could call a settling response, it takes a minute. We have to slow things down, which is really hard if we have anxiety or stress filling our system. It's telling our system we shouldn't slow down. It's too dangerous to slow down. The next thing that I'd like you to do is, from wherever you are, you could be walking with this too. I want you to just look around your environment, please and thank you, and notice some textures or colors of what's around you. It can be any direction. You could look behind you. You could look above, you could look below. Don't make it a big stretch, but really notice. Like, I just turned around and I didn't notice a whole lot. So I'm going to take an extra moment with that. Because we can do these things without noticing. Part of the relaxation response, you might get these little burps. I know, it's kind of weird. They're my new favorite cue that settling or that relaxation response is coming on. We have physiological cues of what's happening biologically in our system. And then as you're having these places that you're noticing around you, I'm going to have you turn your awareness inside and notice what's happening inside. Maybe there's some lightness or coolness. And if that feels too much to turn inside, then look outside in your environment again. And part of what these practices do is they help us build our capacity, build our bandwidth to be able to be with the sensations that happen in our body all the time. All the time. Our body speaks through the language of sensations. Okay, then this next thing we're going to do is interlace our fingers behind our head. This is the basic exercise. It was brought into practice by Stanley Rosenberg. He's a body worker and a teacher. And so you're just gently holding the back of your head Your head doesn't turn, but take your eyes and look toward the left, toward your left elbow. And if that bothers your eyes, I want you to look 3/4 of the way towards your elbow, or whatever does not cause you discomfort. If you get dizzy, look back to center. And you might get a deep yawn here or a deep sigh. You might swallow. You might feel more saliva. And then eyes back to center. So if this basic exercise, if you get dizzy from it, so you do it shorter then. It doesn't mean that it's bad for you. If it gets dizzy, it means it's actually working. This is re-engaging our vagus nerve, or ventral vagus nerve. Now look towards your right elbow. And if you had a big response on the first side, then just look a little bit to the right. We're looking through our peripheral vision, but it's connected to these muscles on the back of our head, the back of our skull, basically. Notice if you get that deep inhale, or a swallow, or a yawn. And then eyes back to center. And then release your hands. Notice if you have sensations or experiences in your system, or if your system just maybe feels like, oh, things are a little more settled. And if things are a little more settled, I want you to notice what settled feels like in your system. Does it feel quiet? Maybe soft? Maybe there's more space, so spaciousness. Or expansive, or maybe just open, or maybe tired. And if nothing happened, that doesn't mean that anything's wrong. I used to work with groups of people that it took a couple weeks for these kind of systemic activations to really start to re-engage. So this is a biological response of our ventral vagus nerve we're working with. And then I'm just going to ask you to bring your hands to any position that feels comfortable to you. They could be on your thighs. It could be together in your lap. It could be you bring hands to heart. You might like to hold your face. And just take a moment to feel what your own warm, alive hands feel like. You might get those deep inhales again. And then that's it today. So that's our settling into our system. It's working with stress, especially this time of year, holiday stress. Take time with these practices. They can be very helpful immediately, but over time they can be even more helpful. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Chris Morris. This is Opening Spaces.